guys, Andrew Hindle here, aka fuck. Oh god, my first update, my update video in a long time, and I already flubbed up on saying my name. Hey guys, my name is damn it, I fucked up again. My brain farted. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Hindle, aka TheOmega360, and see, this is why I don't do like ad-lib stuff. I get off track. Blame my autism. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Hindle, aka TheOmega360, and I've got a few things I want to say. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Nicholas Estelami. Nicholas Estelami. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if I'm not, I apologize greatly. Nicholas Estelami donated $5 to me a couple days ago on Patreon, so he's part of the whole $5 monthly program. And speaking of Patreon, there's a few things I want to address about that maybe some of you probably had questions about. Part of the reason that I'm doing Patreon is because, I want to, get better equipment to make better videos for you guys, and I need to get my shit together and make a better schedule about that instead of just sitting on my ass doing video games and what have you. My organization skills are complete shit. They were shit in college and they're still shit now, so I gotta buck down and what was that buzzing noise? I gotta buck down and actually get like a schedule together and work on stuff. But another part of the reason I'm doing Patreon is because a lot of content creators that put videos on YouTube or just do like artwork in general, they're using Patreon to like make themselves like a self-employed artist. I have no idea if I can do that, but if I could, it would be a bonus. I'm not gonna make it my goal to be a self-produced artist, but if it happens, it's just gonna be a bonus. I'm just doing what I like doing right now at this point at my own pace. That's really all there is. Another thing is that I can't really monetize my videos because the content that I place on there, like the visual content, in terms of that, is copyright, may or may not be subjected to copyright infringements, and with the monetization policy and ads and how complicated and convoluted and maybe controversial they are, not to mention the recent copyright strikes that have been going around YouTube in the past few years or so. Yeah, that's I can't monetize my video. My channel could be in serious trouble if I did that. Some of my videos have already gotten copyright strikes from companies that I'm not too sure hold the rights to said content, like my Devil May Cry animated abridged parody videos. There was a company in there that I wasn't an Italian company apparently that claimed rights on it that I wasn't too sure they own the rights to that. Granted, I do know that there is actually an Italian dub of the Devil May Cry anime in Italy. But as for whether or not it's the specific company in question that owned the rights to said anime that were the same guys that did the dubbing in Italy, I have no clue. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm using Patreon. I figured it's like a safer way to help upgrade my hardware and software and equipment and what have you. Without the risk of that. Well, one guy seems to have faith in me, so I guess that's true. Another thing about my Patreon is I've been thinking about this, and I think I should probably update my rewards a bit. A lot of them just don't seem, two of them in particular, just don't seem like I worded them right, or just didn't seem fair to the fair or whatever. So yeah, I need to redo my goals for that. And I also need to update some more Patreon only content and stuff like that. I have like a whole folder of them and I haven't been able to upload them, mostly because the current internet connection I have is slow as fuck. Email, also because of the file size. Final Cut exports them in a pretty big file size. Though in my defense, I care about quality a lot. So, yeah. Big file sizes to be expected with that. Something else that people have been keep asking me is, what am I going to do with the Mega Man ZX and the Star Force fandubs? Okay, honestly, I put them on hiatus for a bit, and there's a reason for that. One, college, but I'm now graduated. I have two part-time jobs, technically speaking. But the other thing is, a lot of my actors I have lost contact with. So I'm thinking of rebooting the Mega Man ZX and the Star Force games. Starting mainly with the ZX game. The reason for this is because with the Star Force games, there does not a full transcript of the game's dialogue does not exist anywhere on the internet. I have not been able to find it. And even though I have an emulator and I can record the game footage, I have to dive back into the footage and type down the dialogues in in the Word document for word for word, and that can get really time consuming. Not to mention adding my own dialogue in the game space. Like in the actual gameplay where you're exploring the field, outside of battle. The Mega Man ZX game, I know for sure, does have an English transcript for both Ail's and Vent's stories, so I'll be using that. That way it's easier to do that way. I can get the scripts out faster. I think I am going to be doing what Ben Albright, he's the guy with the Blaze Heatnix production. No, wait, not the Definitive Dub Productions. I voice Copy X in his Mega Man Zero dub series, and I will also be voicing Dr. Wily in his the Archie Mega Man comics. That's what it was. I'm voicing Dr. Wily and Bomb Man, so yeah, there's that too. So what he does is he writes out the script for the entire game first, and then he sends it out to all the cast members and stuff. That way, everyone can get done their lines lickety-split, and nobody has to wait. Nobody has to wait for the next script to come out. With Star Force, I think I'm going to ask my friend Chandler to help out with that, so that having two people working on a project's better than one guy. One guy doing everything. I'm fine with it. But it's with my jobs, it takes a lot out of me, let me tell you. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be focusing on Mega Man ZX for now, until maybe I can get some more people to help me and then actually build a team. Maybe I'll call it VG Dubs. That's play on word for the saying BT. Fuck it, forget it, it's not funny. The other thing is that my acting has improved, my editing has improved, and I want the audio to be consistent in terms of voice actors and stuff. Having to change voice actor from episode to episode, it's just, for me, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, because then I have to recast and stuff. Ben knows what I'm talking about. He's had this happen to him more than once. Other thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am now officially a freelance voice actor. I got my first gig back in May, a few weeks ago back in May. I do the voice of Misfit Deadwood in the game known as Heroes of New Earth. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's kind of similar to League of Legends. Both one game I have not played in a long time, and the other game I need to start playing because I'm in it. I've also today I'm also going to a recording studio down in Thurmont, Maryland, for a recording session, because I got myself my second gig, and this is my first time being in an actual recording studio, so I'm really excited, but I'm also really, really nervous, so wish me luck. Of course, by the time this video gets edited and whatnot and uploaded to YouTube, which probably won't be until tomorrow, the recording session will probably already be done, but still. I can't say what it is that I'm in yet, but when I do know that it's safe to let you know, you'll know. If that makes any sense. I don't fucking know. Sorry about my hair, I just got out of the shower. And no, I do not mean that in a perverted way. Stop the comments. Other thing I want to try to do is like bring you news, like what's happening in the media that I'm focused in. So let's go ahead and start with that, maybe. Let's start with something that's been a bit of a concern both for me lately and probably for some other gamers. I'm sure that by now that you've heard, like a few months ago, like GameStop, the chain store GameStop announced that it was closing down about, how much was it? GameStop, as I'm pretty sure that you have known for the past few months or so, has been having some financial issues, so to speak. This past holiday season was a bit of a sluggish sales season for them. And at the time this announcement was made public, Nathan Britch over at WGG.com, he said that in the wake of the sales slump, GameStop will close at least 150 stores, with the possibility of more to come, as the company says it expects to shutter up to 3% of its 7,500 locations, which works out around 225 stores. That number is probably increased somewhere, and that would definitely explain why one of the GameStops in Frederick, near where I live, disappeared at the FSK Mall. Although that GameStop in particular disappeared way before the holiday season. Yeah, the holiday season was not good for them, because it says right here, according to the video game retailer's fourth quarter financial report, hardware sales dropped 29.1%, and new software sales declined 19.3% compared to 2005. So during like the holiday season, that means their sales took about a 13.6, that's round that up, that's like, took about a 14% dive. That's not good. I don't know much about marketing or sales percentage and financial stuff, but 14% loss in the sales market, that's not good. Now, what exactly caused this? Well, according to the article on WWG, it wasn't weak market product. It was tough competition from online and big box retailers like Amazon and Walmart. That I can definitely see. Amazon and Walmart definitely sell like the whole big retail product stuff like that for like less than what it would cost on like the public market and stuff. And there's even like a few local shops in Frederick, like Play Raven and Cartridges Galore, that sell both new and used items for like a hell of a lot less. Like my Wii U, the prices went up for that a bit. Probably since it got like nixed in the production progress. And normally that would cost like 250, like 200 and something bucks. I bought mine over at Play Raven for like 170, and it works great. So yeah, that's like an example right there. Now, this does not mean that GameStop is out of the sales market yet, but they gotta pick up their games, but they gotta pick it up. Another factor in this could be GameStop's rather heavily criticized Circle of Life policy, which, if you don't know what that is, I've got the information for you right here. Nathan Bridge once again writes an article about like the controversial Circle of Life policy. It says right here, is designed to increase pre-ordering and pre-owned sales while discouraging customers from buying new, unopened games. Basically, all GameStops have been told that pre-orders, reward, and card subscriptions, pre-owned game sales, and game trade-ins must take up a hefty chunk of their transactions. That's not really... That does not really inspire a whole lot of confidence with their sales. I mean, I've had good luck buying pre-owned sales, but not everyone has the same luck as me. And, well, there's also the fact of like people not actually doing their job to make sure the products actually work. The article also says, since the Circle of Life program is based on a percentage levels of total sales, every new game bought without a pre-order counts against the store's quota, which is motivating some pretty crummy behavior. Some GameStop locations are encouraging their staff to lie about new game supplies, and employees have been punished or even fired for not contributing to their branch's quota. One anonymous employee laid out the unpleasant effects of the Circle of Life program. We are telling people we don't have new systems in stock, so we won't take a $300 or $400 hit on our pre-owned numbers. This is company-wide, and in discussions with my peers, it is a common practice. We also tell customers we don't have copies of new games in stock when they are on sale. For example, Watch Dogs 2 is currently $29.99 new and $54.99 pre-owned. We just tell them we don't have the new one in stock and shuffle them at the door. Now that quote right there was sent by an anonymous employee who was working at GameStop. Kotaku then contacted the actual GameStop company, and here's what they had to say. All of GameStop's internal programs are designed to provide our customers the best value in all their video games purchases, including new and pre-owned merchandise. With any program, opportunities arrive for improvement, and we will continue to refine it to equip our knowledgeable store associates to provide a great store experience. Well, okay, that's good and all, but not a lot of GameStop employees are actually going to take that to heart. And from what criticism has been going around in the gaming industry about said policy, yeah, it doesn't sound like the GameStop employees did that good of a job of holding it up. I did hear that GameStop has reportedly canceled the Circle of Life policy, and there was an article written about it, but that article no longer exists. So I don't really know whether or not that's true. If somebody can tell me that'd be greatly appreciated. So while GameStop is having some issues, they're still a big company. There's still some stores out there. There's still 2 stores here in Frederick, although I'm not going to go to them that often unless there's like a good deal I can get there. I'm mostly going to be like sticking to Play Raven and cartridges galore for my video game stuff, and Amazon if I can find anything on there that I can't find at Play Raven. And you should look for like any like local businesses in your place, like Save Points. I know there's like there's the game Save Point in there's a place called Save Point that's similar to Play Raven and cartridges galore somewhere in Pennsylvania, I think. I think that's where they are. And there's also another Play Raven in Eldersburg, here in Maryland. So yeah, there's you should like look for like family-owned video game stores, because I guarantee you they'll offer good deals. I definitely get good whenever I go to them. I get good deals. Whenever I go to Play Raven, I get good deals on a lot of the stuff that I buy. So yeah. That's something I would advise you to take a look into. I did find a list of things that GameStop could probably do to save themselves. Expanding collectible sales. If you've been in GameStop recently, you've probably noticed that this initiative is already underway. The Funko Pop. Yeah, those Funko Pop characters are quite all the rage these days for like gamers and in pop culture in general. They're quite a hot collector's item, so that's definitely something that could help them right there. Selling mobile devices and tech. Yes, GameStop actually does do that nowadays. They sell like they've done that a while. They sell like new and used like iPods, along with like offering like and I think some smartphones too, along with like offering like a few contract plans as well, like Neck 10, I think. Publishing games. I'm not too sure about this one. The company recently set up a publishing arm called Game Trust, but so far their approach has been very conservative. They published a couple of small indie titles like Song of the Deep and Has Been Heroes without a lot of big plans announced for the future. That could and probably should change. Okay, yeah, if GameStop actually is looking into publishing games, they're going to have to come up with a better plan. They're going to need to be more proactive than conservative with this thing. Now, this next part here is a pretty important thing. Nintendo saves the day. Yes, the Nintendo Switch is a very, very hot item right now. So hard that it got sold out in a matter of hours on its release, and it's still pretty hard to find today, aside from like Amazon and Walmart and stuff like that. And in another article written by Nathan Bridge, he said that GameStop is actually very pro-Switch and they have high hopes for it. And so far it seems to be pretty well. The GameStop CFO Robert Lloyd said, "It's been great for us. We've been able to sell through all of the allocation that we've gotten from Nintendo in very short order. We can't keep the Switch on the shelves. And that's good. That's definitely good news for both GameStop and Nintendo, especially since like the Nintendo Switch is like really hard to find nowadays. Well, that's also good and bad news for gamers, but it's mostly good news for GameStop and Nintendo because, well, this might save Nintendo from, you know, going out of making consoles. And let's hope they don't go out of making consoles. I'd really hate for them to end up like Sega. But here's another thing that could save them is tax returns. I'm not exactly sure how this would work, but according to the article it says, well, apparently IRS refunds were delayed this year, which has been eating into GameStop's business. People like to spend their free government monies on games, it seems. I probably would too if I weren't saving up for better equipment and college loans. So here's what Lloyd had to say about that. I think in February, we saw a little bit of an impact of the IRS delaying the start of the tax refunds. I think that carried over into the consumer. Americans as a public like to spend some of their refunds on video gaming. That is actually true. That is actually very true, although it depends on the person getting the tax returns. I mean, I just got mine. It was only like about $120. So that's not really a whole lot. I doubt GameStop should depend on solely on something like that to keep them going in business. The Switch seems like a more suitable option. Those are just like a few examples of what GameStop can do to bring back to increase their sales and whatnot. But then again, there's quite possibly a chance that GameStop may be inadvertently compromising your credit card if you're using that online. And there's an article about that on Gaming Illuminati. Go away. The article says, according to our informant who used GameStop's website to make a purchase between mid-September 2016 and February 16, should be paying close attention to their bank statements. Credit card processors have been issuing alerts that GameStop.com was likely compromised. GameStop confirmed that they'd received the info that credit card data from their site was being offered for sale. GameStop released this statement to the public. We regret any concern this situation may cause for our customers. GameStop would like to remind its customers that it is always advisable to monitor payment card account statements for unauthorized charges. If you identify such a charge, report it immediately to the bank that issued the card, because payment card network rules generally state that cardholders are not responsible for unauthorized charges that are timely reported. That does not look good on them, and they're already struggling enough as it is. Well, it's definitely something you should take into response, but seeing that on GameStop, that kind of information on GameStop's website, I hope that issue's been resolved by this point. Yeah, that does not look good on the image of an already struggling company. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what that's kind of like something what I do, like give you like updates and stuff like that on like what's going on in like the media. Well, not the mainstream media, because like I don't give a shit about mainstream media. I'm gonna be honest right there. I try to stay as far away from it as I possibly can. But yeah, so if you got anything you'd want me to, if you got anything if you got anything you'd like me to look into, I can definitely try that, and then I'll see if I can find anything. So yeah, I just made this stuff up as I go along. And hopefully it wasn't too boring for you. So this is the Omega360 signing out. Catch you guys later.